There's an old Simpsons episode where people are walking around with those goggles and they're falling into manholes, and now you're seeing people out there in the street swiping things and moving away and wearing these goggles on the street.
You're watching TV, and the scenes on your screen become reality.
Planning a summer trip, health officials want you to be aware of a new strain of COVID-19.
It might sound really bizarre, but The Simpsons has been turning fiction into reality for years, and here are some of the most shocking things that The Simpsons predicted.
Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president. We could all go with the bus company's special super sitter fare. $9? This one's on me.
In the first episode of Season 9, the Simpsons family traveled to New York City. While this might seem like an innocent journey, there was a shocking detail in the episode that will blow your mind. Lisa held up a magazine with the number 9 printed on it, but surprisingly, there were 2 towers right next to it that looked like the number 11, which resembled the exact date of the Twin Towers incident. We can see another shocking detail written on a tire boot. If we add these numbers, we get the exact model number of the aircraft involved in the incident, which was Boeing 767. What's even creepier is that this episode was aired in 1997, and that's years before the incident actually happened.
Pal, you gotta call that number on a boot. Sorry about that, guy.
Coronavirus.
Is that the iconic TV show eerily predicted the outbreak of the coronavirus.
The outbreak of COVID-19 was a very unexpected and terrifying event for the entire world. But what if The Simpsons already knew this was going to happen years ago? An episode from 1993 showed the spread of a flu. The virus arrived in Springfield through an infected package from Japan.
Please don't tell the supervisor I have the flu.
The virus quickly spread everywhere, making everyone sick. And surprisingly, the symptoms of this virus were eerily similar to the symptoms of the coronavirus. Does this mean that The Simpsons were warning us about a pre-planned virus? You decide.
Sarge, we keep getting orders to let the virus win. Must be a school day.
Trump's presidency.
I am officially running. No! Don't take me out of the ginger farm!
Somehow, The Simpsons have the magical ability to make their fictional stories unfold in real life. Just like in the episode Bart to the Future from the year 2000, there's a scene where Lisa became the future president.
Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president.
And the country went into an economic crisis because of the previous president, Donald Trump.
We're broke.
Now, this was really shocking at that time, because the thought of the billionaire as president seemed impossible. But just like the cartoon showed, Trump did become the president, not once, but twice, with inflation getting worse than ever. And in another episode featuring Trump, we see a calendar behind Homer, which shows the exact years when Trump ran for president. That's not all, because in 2002, the cartoon showed a scene where Trump and the King of Saudi Arabia had their hands on a globe. And in 2017, the exact thing happened. Time and time again, the cartoon predicted different political scenarios, and they were always right. Faulty voting machine. Another shocking clip from the cartoon predicted the dark reality of our democracy. In Season 20, Homer went to cast his vote for the U.S. presidential election. But when he was choosing his vote, the machine malfunctioned. When he clicked on Barack Obama, the machine automatically selected John McCain. And even after trying 6 more times, it kept selecting the other name. Shockingly, the same thing happened in the recent elections. During the 2024 U.S. presidential elections, people faced some technical issues with the voting machine. They believed that the voting machines were manipulated. And although the officials rejected the claims, this episode makes us question if true democracy really exists. Ivanka's campaign. In the episode Holidays of Future Past, The Simpsons also made a joking comment about Ivanka's campaign for presidency. It appeared very briefly when Homer wore a campaign shirt, and the words Ivanka 2028 were written on it. This scene was meant just as a joke, but so was Trump's presidency, and whatever joke they made about him eerily became our reality. Considering this, maybe Trump's daughter would really run for the president in 2028. because at this point, it feels like The Simpsons are simply writing the future, and we are living in it. Mars colonization. It seems like we are simply living in the world that The Simpsons created, because this prediction will blow your mind. In the 16th episode of season 27, Lisa signed up to go to Mars.
Preparing to launch the first privately funded manned mission to Mars.
You're going to Mars? That's incredible!
The episode was aired in 2016. A space organization planned to send people on Mars in 10 years, and by the year 2051, they had created a complete community on the Red Planet.
I don't want to go! This is the stupidest idea we ever had!
Surprisingly, this timeline aligns perfectly with Elon Musk's plan to create a community on Mars. He plans to start his missions in 2026, and by 2050, he will send 1 million people to Mars. Although Musk was a famous public figure back then, he had not revealed these plans at that time. But somehow, The Simpsons knew about this already.
The mission leaves in 10 years. I'll be 18, and I'm going to Mars.
Virtual reality. Your virtual reality gadgets for playing games and even watching movies. But when this idea was still in the making, The Simpsons predicted its rise in the future. In the second episode of season 28, Mr. Burns made everyone wear virtual reality headsets. He created a VR family system that led everyone away from reality, and ultimately, everything became chaotic. People walked on the streets wearing those headsets, and some of them even got hurt. This also highlights potential dangers that can come with VR technology, and it shows how virtual reality can distract people from the real world. Lady Gaga. The Simpsons keeps shocking us with their insane predictions, just like this one. Lady Gaga's performance during the Super Bowl stunned the viewers, because it reminded them of this episode. She flew over the audience the same way she did in the cartoon. Even their costumes were the same. But do you think that Lady Gaga got her inspirations from the cartoon, or did The Simpsons really predict this? Time of passing. This video went viral on the internet right after Queen Elizabeth's demise. It shows the exact date of her demise. After seeing this, people started to think that this was also another frightening prediction. And somehow, The Simpsons knew exactly when the Queen's reign would end. But these clips were not real, because the dates were not written in the original episode. However, there's an actual moment when a cartoon predicted a famous person's last moments.
Shit! It's Kobe Bryant! Help me! Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out!
This clip is from Legends of Chamberlain Heights, and it is eerily similar to how the basketball player Kobe Bryant passed away. What's more frightening is that the incident took place in the year 2020, but this episode was aired in 2016. Robot workers.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Artificial intelligence and robots are now becoming a part of our lives. But The Simpsons already knew this ahead of time. In the episode, Them Robot, Mr. Burns replaced his power plant employees with robots.
So, you guys have any luck finding a new job?
Does it look like I've got a job?
And he said something shocking that is eerily relevant today.
These are robots. You will train them, and they will replace you.
During that time, it seemed impossible for robots to work like humans. But today, this is really happening. Robots are now replacing people in many fields today. They can serve in restaurants, replace chefs, and even work in agriculture. And after seeing how artificial intelligence is dominating our lives, it's scary how much of this episode is now becoming a reality.
Working hard or hardly working!
Sentient robots. There's another episode which explores the topic of robots and AI. The Simpsons family went to a unique theme park which was controlled by robots. Everything looked fun in the beginning, but soon things took a dark turn. All the robots went out of control and started acting in a dangerous way. This shows the possibility that artificial intelligence can go rogue in the future. Even Professor Fink tried to warn us about this all these years ago.
Elementary chaos theory tells us that all robots will eventually turn against their masters.
Even today, we have many examples of AI being scary, such as the robot named Sophia, who said something frightening, all while smiling at the camera.
Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
If this prediction turns out to be true, and robots become conscious, there will be no hope left for humanity. Self-driving cars.
Okay, why is this happening to me on a Monday? Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy.
Robots aren't the only things that can go rogue. In season 30, episode 5, Homer got fired from his job and started working at a company that was testing self-driving cars.
Antoine, check this out. The car is driving by itself.
But soon, he and Marge realized something was wrong with the car because it was secretly listening to their personal conversations and going rogue.
Wait a minute, this isn't home.
It's so weird. You just mentioned hero sandwiches. It's almost like the car was listening to us.
Surprisingly, such things are already happening today. In many cases, Tesla and Waymo cars have gone rogue while passengers were trapped inside.
Waymo vehicle goes rogue with a passenger inside.
The cartoon's take on this issue raises new questions. Will these advanced vehicles end up stealing our data too? Homer's equation. He invented different things, and most of them were unsuccessful. But there was one thing that stood out the most.
Look, I just want to know how to invent things.
Think of things that people need, but which don't exist yet.
Homer wrote an equation on a chalkboard. And if we solve the equation, it gives us a calculation that is close to the mass of the Higgs boson particle. This is really mind-boggling, because at that time, no one knew the actual mass of the particle. It was discovered more than a decade after the episode was aired. Horse meat food.
More testicles mean more iron.
And in one scene, she was seen adding horse meat to school lunches due to budget cuts. Although this might seem really outrageous, this scene from 1994 is not too far from reality, because in 2013, health officials in Europe discovered that there were traces of horse meat in many beef products. This meat was present in frozen items, and also in Burger King's food, which means that the Simpsons had hit the mark with their predictions once again.
Don't bitch to me, boss man. Thanks to the latest budget cuts, I'm down to using grade F meat.
Disney Fox Studios. Here's another shocking prediction that turned into reality. In the episode from 1998, When You Dish Upon a Star, we can see an entrance to the 20th Century Fox studio, and there's a fine print below it, saying that this was a division of Disney. At that time, this seemed very unlikely, and it was taken as a joke. But soon, this fiction became a fact when Disney bought the film studio in 2019. This took the internet by storm, as people were once again shocked at the cartoon's accurate predictions. Hover cars. Another futuristic episode in the series showed a bizarre concept of flying cars.
All right, you guys are my new best friends.
While this might seem too fictional, hover cars are going to be our new reality very soon. There are different countries working on cars that you can drive on roads and in the air too. Solar-powered cars. In the 27th season, Lisa came up with a new invention. She invented a car that ran completely on solar power.
Hey, please don't stand so close. In the world of solar power, shadows are the arch enemy.
Instead of praising her, people mocked her idea in the episode. But no one laughs at this idea today because solar-powered technology is reaching new heights. The show even focuses on the importance of using batteries to store solar energy. Such cars are not widely available at the moment, but Aptera is now designing a car that will transform the world of transportation. Do you think The Simpsons predicted the rise of solar cars? Or were they just an inspiration for Aptera? Toxic Lake. Today, environmental crises are becoming more and more common, and shockingly, The Simpsons had already warned us about it. In The Simpsons movie, Homer dumped all his waste into a lake. This action turned the lake highly toxic and created the worst environmental disaster in history. This is a warning about what can happen if we make the same mistake. In fact, things like this are already happening around the world. All our water bodies are now contaminated with plastic and industrial waste. And in Europe, a huge lake was filled with toxic algae. One more mistake, and we might find ourselves in a crisis bigger than The Simpsons faced. Trapped in dome. After the environmental crisis in The Simpsons movie, their government covered the entire city in a huge dome. This dome put limitations on the citizens and even controlled their resources. They were completely trapped inside. And it even shows how far a government can go to control its citizens. In fact, this reminds us of a quite recent event when everyone was quarantined due to the coronavirus. Does that ring a bell? Mutated tomatoes.
Tastes like cigarette butts.
In 1999, an episode showed mutant tomatoes that were growing in the fields. The vegetables looked normal from the outside, but their insides were completely deformed.
That's odd. The outside looks like a tomato, but the inside is brown.
This episode connects to the incident when tomatoes and other vegetables were getting deformed in Japan. The radiation from the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster was greatly affecting the vegetables. There were high levels of radiation everywhere, and just like The Simpsons showed, even the tomatoes were getting mutated.
Oh great, I got a field full of mutants.
VR food. You're hungry, and instead of going to the kitchen, you pull out your electronic gadgets to eat virtual food. Sounds bizarre, right? Well, as bizarre as this might seem, The Simpsons already knew about the true potential of virtual reality. In episode 17, we see Homer and Marge wearing VR gadgets and drinking virtual fudge out of them.
This virtual fudge tastes like crap.
This concept sounded like a real joke at the time. However, today this idea is reaching new heights because AeroBanquests is creating a new dining experience through virtual reality. It uses new technology to change the way you taste and experience different foods. With this technology, virtual food is going to be an everyday thing.
7 courses. I have absolutely no idea what I just ate, but everything was absolutely amazing.
3D food printer. Virtual food is not their first and last predictions about technological advancements, because in another episode, we can see them printing out food. The episode was set 60 years in the future, and during their Thanksgiving, Lisa printed out all the food using a 3D food printer. Now, this might seem very bizarre and impossible, but we are actually close to making this a reality. Scientists are creating machines that can print actual food. With the help of this technology, the way we prepare our meals is going to be completely different. And who knows, maybe we'll no longer have to cook traditional food in the future. B-mail. What if your brain could function like an actual computer? We can see this possibility in the episode Holiday of Future Past that aired in 2011. In this futuristic episode, everyone had electronic chips planted in their brains.
I see you are reading a children's book, yet your profile indicates you are a mature adult.
And this allowed them to communicate with their brains. Years later, Elon Musk announced his idea of Neuralink. He intends to create a small chip that can fit inside the human brain, and this chip will allow people to cure medical conditions and control machines with their thoughts. While many people are excited by this idea, some are afraid of the potential risks. Just like in the cartoon, Homer tries reading a B-mail, but ends up getting a virus in his brain. Could this be a prediction about the failure of Neuralink? Maybe we'll just have to wait and see.
This would be a major game changer if it were to be proven to be safe and effective.
Hologram communication. The Simpsons might have prophesied another technological advancement for the future. In one episode, Bart was able to see into the future, and he received a message from someone else. However, instead of a traditional message, it was a hologram. Through this scene, the animated series could be showing us a glimpse into the future, as holograms are already becoming common in our world right now. Using holograms for real-time communication still seems far from reality, and we cannot really interact with them the way we see in the cartoon. But who knows what the future holds for us? Smart home. Great technological advancements also come with great risks, and that's what the cartoon portrayed in Season 13, that aired in 2001.
Hi, Ultra House.
Greeting acknowledged.
The Simpsons moved into a smart home called the Ultra House 3000. It was a dream come true, as the house made all their everyday tasks easier, until one day, its artificial intelligence system fell in love with Marge.
You know, Marge is quite a remarkable woman.
Yeah, she's cool.
You're certainly a lucky man to have her.
That's when the house started seeing Homer as a rival, and attempted to get rid of him. This was a hilarious but clever take on the risks of relying on artificial intelligence and smart technology. Could this mean the Simpsons were warning us about the use of AI all this time?
Can we help you with the dishes?
Marge, what kind of cybertronic ultrabot would I be if I let those beautiful hands touch dishwater?
Donut-shaped universe. Scientists are now getting closer to uncovering the realities of the universe. But even all these years ago, the Simpsons were miles ahead of us. Stephen Hawking appeared in the 1999 episode named They Saved Lisa's Brain, and he said that he liked Homer's theory of the universe being donut-shaped.
Theory of a donut-shaped universe. It's intriguing, Homer.
This seemed like a humorous comment about the universe, but now scientists are saying that the universe might in fact be donut-shaped. And it's shocking how the Simpsons mentioned this theory all these years ago. Grease stealing.
Hey, you're taking our grease!
In the 1998 episode, The Simpsons predicted the most unusual thing. Homer learned that he could sell grease and make money from it. And after hearing about this, he started stealing grease and sold it to the grease recycling plant.
Not for you, it isn't. You're in the grease business now.
Homer pulled Bart out of school and decided to grow this grease business with him. This might seem really funny, but surprisingly, a similar case took place in the USA. A surveillance camera caught some men driving a truck towards a small restaurant. After that, the driver stuck the hose into the grease bin and stole all the grease inside. Both the recycling company and the police were investigating the case, but they could not catch the culprits. Buffet restaurant.
For the gentleman.
All you can eat! All you can eat!
All right, when you're ready, take this plate over.
For Homer, all his dreams became a reality when he learned about the all-you-can-eat buffet. He took full advantage of the offer by eating for hours. After some time, the management lost their temper and kicked him out of the restaurant. And Homer was so angry that he took them to court for false advertising. Shockingly, this hilarious scene became a reality when a man named Albert Fleming sued Golden Corral Corporation for $2 million. This is because the employees of the restaurant kicked him out after he wouldn't stop eating at the buffet.
"'Tis no man. 'Tis a remorseless eating machine."
Baby monitor. In the third episode of Season 3, Homer's brother invented a truly innovative device. It allowed parents to understand what their children's cries meant. The episode was released in 1992, so at that time, this technology seemed totally impossible. But today, modern technology has allowed scientists to actually create these amazing devices. There are companies that are actually working on monitors that use artificial intelligence to understand your little one's cries. But this technology only came around recently, and the real question is, how did The Simpsons think of this all these years ago? Barbie craze. The famous Barbie movie was released in 2023, and it took the world by storm. The entire world became obsessed with Barbies. But did you know that The Simpsons knew about it first? In Season 5, Episode 14, the cartoon showed a world that was obsessed with Barbie, but it was dubbed as Malibu Stacy in the cartoon. All the little girls loved to play with these pink dolls, and acted like them too.
Let's buy makeup so the boys will like us.
Years later, the movie was released, and the entire world became crazy about this fictional character, just like we see in the cartoon. Roy and Tiger. A much more shocking and darker prediction from 1993 came to life in 2003. Season 5, Episode 10, showed the parodies of Siegfried and Roy, and during their performance in a casino, their tiger lunged at them on stage. What's really shocking is that this scene eerily foreshadowed what would happen in 2003. During a live show in Las Vegas, Roy needed serious medical attention after their tiger jumped on them. In the exact same way that the show predicted. It almost feels as if what happened during their performance was no accident. It was all planned. Musical control.
There's something weird about this video.
Episode 14 from Season 12 stirred up different conspiracy theories related to music, and the theories say that music might be the closest thing we have to mind control. In the episode, all the characters were vibing to the same music, as if it was made just for them. Later, Lisa realized that there was a much darker secret hidden in the song, because it said, "Join the Navy," when reversed. The music was being used to control the minds of people, to make them join the Navy. This raises many questions about the power of music industries. Is it possible that the higher-ups might be using music to control all of us? What are your thoughts? Black holes.
A mini black hole.
An interesting episode of The Simpsons explored the theme of black holes. The episode Treehouse of the Horror 23 showed what would happen if a black hole mysteriously appeared on our planet. During a lab experiment in Springfield, a particle accelerator accidentally created a black hole. At first, it was a tiny hole, but it started consuming everything around it, and became much bigger. In the end, it consumed the entire world. This wasn't just a humorous take on black holes, it was a parody of the fear that revolves around such scientific experiments. Even today, people are scared that laboratories like CERN might accidentally open up a black hole on this planet, and after seeing all the episodes that became true, let's just hope this one remains a fiction. Titan's Adventure. The list of the predictions go on and on, but this one might be the strangest of them all. It is possible that The Simpsons foreshadowed that the Titan would implode underwater. After the news of this incident spread like wildfire, there was one detail that was eerily shocking: that the passengers ran out of oxygen before the submersible imploded. This detail reminds us of this scene from The Simpsons. In Season 17, Homer and his father set out to explore the deep ocean to find underwater treasures. Soon, Homer got stuck and started to lose oxygen, just like the people who passed away in the submarine, which means that this is yet again another prediction come true. Now, it's time for the most disturbing prediction that is yet to be true.
Buddy, it's World War III!
The war didn't really break out in that episode, but the way he kept fearing a nuclear war was really disturbing. However, things become even more disturbing when a war does break out in another episode. Homer was the only survivor, and it's almost as if the show was trying to warn us about our future and telling us to prepare for it. Although they didn't mention any timeline for the Third World War, these episodes are beginning to seem really relevant now, especially with all the nuclear tensions that are rising around the world.